I like one-box solutions, but now that we have Spirit Island, Branch and Claw, 2 promo packs, now sold as Feather and Flame, Jagged Earth, Horizons, Nature Incarnate, and 2 premium token packs, can we fit everything we need into just the base game box with 0 lid lift? The answer is yes, we can, but only if you're happy with unsleeved cards and the thin spirit panels. If you prefer the thicker panels and card sleeves, then we'll need a bit more room. For that, we take the Nature Incarnate box and either the base game or Jagged Earth. We put the big box in the small lid and the small box in the big lid. Then they fit together like this, making a strong, stable big box. Both those original boxes do have a tiny bit of lid lift built in, so we do get this little gap around the middle even when they're empty. We can't do anything about that, but I promise it won't get any worse when we've put 1,555 board game components into it. I'm going to show you both of these solutions in this video, and if you want to make them yourself, there's a link to the full instructions in the description. But first, let's talk about what we're going to miss out. First on the chopping block is the Invader board extension from Branch and Claw. This mainly serves as a place to put the spirit tokens, but you have to tip them out onto the board when you're setting up and then put them away again at the end. There's nowhere to put the Badlands, and in a big game this whole thing ends up at the far end of the table where no one can reach it. Instead, we're going to put all 5 tokens in a tray that lifts straight out of the box onto the table. Actually, 2 trays, 1 for each end of the table, so everyone can reach. So yeah, that is going straight in the bin. The board from Horizons, that feels a bit superfluous too. We've got the proper modular map boards, so I basically never use this either. It's gone. Do we really need the punchboard Invaders into hand from Horizons? It is nice to have spares. You can run out in 6-player games, especially against England or Russia, but they're not really necessary, so with regret they'll have to go. I can't see we'll possibly have room for these. You certainly don't need the Horizons rulebooks either. They're covered by the base game, and everything in Branch and Claw is in Jagged Earth. And what about the other rulebooks? The online FAQ has the latest errata and better coverage for weird edge cases, so maybe these can go on the bookshelf now. It would be nice to have them in the box, but they do take up 477 cubic centimeters, so these are a maybe. These player aid reminder cards and the power progressions, I don't know, if you're the sort of person who's making this box insert, you probably don't use these very much. It would be nice to have them, but we can save 44 cubic centimeters, so they're on the maybe pile as well. These cards have been removed from the game now, so we can save another 10.5 cubic centimeters there. They're gone. Okay, so let's see how it's done. I'll cover the big box solution first, stick around for the compact version afterwards. The Jagged Earth box goes into the Nature Incarnate lid, the Nature Incarnate box goes in the Jagged Earth lid. This means when we put them together there's going to be quite a bit of vertical space inside the lid, so we'll be stacking components above the level of the top of the box. That can get a bit precarious. You don't really want to be playing Jenga when you're putting the game away. So we start with this box insert. There's no real strength to this, it's really only there to keep things in line when you're stacking them in the box. There's no need to glue this in the box either, it's a snug fit so it's not going anywhere. On the inside of this I've printed a plan to show you where everything goes when you're putting the game away. We put all 502 cards in here. I've used 60 micron sleeves and I don't think you can really go any thicker than that. There's a bit of wiggle room so you can fit your fingers in to pull the cards out, but I don't think you want it much tighter than this. I have run out of room for the reminder cards and power progressions. Maybe you could fit them in if you were using 50 micron sleeves. I've added some card dividers to separate things out. You could probably buy them, in which case you can go up to 98mm tall, but I've just made these out of 220 GSM card. For the spirits, I've added a QR code that takes you to the FAQ for that spirit, and there's also these setup instructions on each one because, well, you know why. Okay, so in the bottom of the box we're going to put all the pieces we usually only need at setup, or that we might not be using at all. I'm using the premium tokens here for Incarnate and the spirit specific tokens, but the original punchboard ones will fit just as well. Then the adversary reminders, both sets of the scenario markers, the Invader cards and small reminder cards, Fear, England's extra build, the Endless Dark, and the Terror level dividers. Unexpectedly, we have some spare space left here. Fortunately, I kept the Horizons punchboard Invaders into hand. If you pack them in carefully, you can just fit them into this box. The Invader board goes here, and the adversaries and scenarios here. Do people sleeve these? I don't know. They fit better unsleeved. I've used 60 micron sleeves here and they tend to stack a little high, but they will squash down to the right depth so long as there's something sufficiently heavy on top. So here's 37 punchboard spirit panels. I've got the thick versions of the Horizon Spirits in this stack as well. That leaves this gap around the sides to fit these pieces in. Firstly, the player pieces. I've just thrown these loosely into these little boxes. If you do find you often run out of reminder tokens, you can just about fit the punchboard reminder tokens in there as well as the premium ones. You have to pack them a bit more carefully. You have 2 trays of spirit tokens, 2 trays of humans, again one for each end of the table. These trays have the energy and elements. I've mixed the 3s in with the 1s, but you could add a divider between them if you prefer. I've mixed the elements all together. Dividers would take up too much room, but there's enough room that they all fit flat in the bottom, so you can see them all at once. This blight box is a bit of a crazy shape. That's so that it can bridge across the card holder like this, and the indentation is to allow the mat boards to fit in like this. That brings us up to the top of the box liner, but we've still got 6mm of space before we reach the ceiling. That's just enough for these 3 rule books. Turn the Jagged Earth one upside down, otherwise the spines stack a little bit higher, and we want to avoid that tiny bit of lid lift. Nice. But we can go smaller. This insert acts as a foundation. It fits snugly into the box, so there's no need to glue it in. The spirit specific cards go in the first card holder. That's the unique powers and aspects. Major and minor powers go in here, with England's extra build, the terror level dividers, and the Endless Dark in behind. Blight cards, events, and fear cards go in here. We do have a bit of space left, so we can just fit the power progression and reminder cards in behind. Not you. In the bottom of the box, we're going to put the pieces we usually only need at setup, or that might not be used at all. I'm using the premium tokens here for Incarnate and the spirit specific tokens, but the original punchboard ones will fit just as well. Then the adversary reminders, both sets of scenario markers, the invader cards and the small reminder cards, fear and blight. Unexpectedly, we have some spare space. The Horizon cities, towns and triple explorers fit in this container. 25 of the explorers in here, with the other 2 going in the previous box, and the punchboard the hand go in here. They don't quite fill to the top of this box, so there's just enough room for a wafer thin mint. This space now perfectly accommodates the mat boards. On top of that, we have 2 trays of humans and 9 colours of player pieces. That gives a flat surface for the spirit panels to rest on. We don't want these bending, so notice that the corner rests on this divider here. We fill the gap around the edge of the spirit panels with these 2 trays of spirit tokens, and then we're nearly done for the whole box. There's 1 centimetre of space left, which is just enough room for the rules. A shame really, as we still need to add the energy, elements, adversaries and scenarios, and the invader board. So yeah, the rulebooks. You'll get as much lid lift as the rules you include. You've probably played the game enough not to need the base rules anymore, and maybe not Jagged Earth either. With just the Nature Incarnate rules, we get about 2mm of lid lift. Is that okay? Or you could even go with no rulebooks at all for that sweet lid lift 0. And if you think that's cool, take a look at this. It weighs pi kilograms.